Hey there folks, welcome to it. I've been wanting to put together a video for some time talking about my impressions of a climbing stand. First couple of things, this isn't so much a review of the stand. There's 1,000,001 reviews of climbing stands out there. There's 1,000,001 reviews of or videos on how to proper use for climbing stand and safety, so I'm not going to go over all that. What I'm going to go into is the perspective of somebody who normally hunts from the ground and wanted to hunt from an elevated position. Now, I will say that this is a Summit Titan tree stand. I think it weighs about 25 pounds, and it's a good tree stand. I'm not taking anything away from it. If there was two negative things I had to say about it, I would say one, it's too cumbersome, but that's just the nature of the beast because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2" and pounds, and I wanted something bigger that I would feel comfortable in a tree stand, so that's just part of it. And the second thing will be the weight. It weighs 25 pounds, but once again, that's the nature of the beast. You got a big platform to be in, it's going to weigh more. Now, second disclaimer, this is a shagbark hickory that I have this thing mounted on. And were I actually in the woods climbing in this stand, I would never in a million years put it on a shagbark hickory because that happens, which is not good, no bueno if you're in a climbing stand. So that being said, I just wanted to go over real quick some of the my thoughts and impressions. The primary usage that I wanted to have a climbing stand for was public land, because all the private land I have access to has fixed ladder stands, which is great because you don't have to carry anything in on your back. So I wanted something I could portable, that I could carry in on my back, that I could hike into these areas I wanted to hunt, throw in a tree and get up. What I ended up finding was I'm usually hiking in a minimum of 3/4 to a mile to a mile and a half. And the 25-pound weight of the tree stand isn't bad. However, when you throw the backpack, I carry a lot of gear. I carry probably way more gear than I need to. I carry water, carry snacks, carry calls, you name it. So when you got my backpack, my pack, which weighs probably, we'll say conservatively 20 pounds, and you got a 25-pound tree stand on your back, then you're ending up with 45 pounds you're carrying in on your back. Now, that's not so bad if you're going in a quarter to a half mile. But if you're like myself and you're going in a mile, mile and a half, 2 miles, it starts to wear on you by the time you get into the woods. The two things I realized was, or a few things that I realized were that, A, I couldn't hardly get into the woods without being drenched in sweat. And that so when I wore enough layers of clothes in the morning when it's cool to stay warm, I would be drenched in sweat by the time I got to the tree. So by the time I got up into the tree, I was freezing because I was just completely soaked in sweat. Not to mention scent. My scent would have to be everywhere. And the other thing I got to thinking, if I'm a mile and a half, 2 miles back in here, I've got 45 pounds on my back, and I shoot and I get a deer, and I've got, if I drag the deer out, I've got probably 100 to 150 pound animal here in Tennessee that I have to drag out, in addition to having 40, 45 pounds on my back. Or if I quarter it in the woods and pack it out, then I'm looking at anywhere between, I don't know, 40 to 80 pounds worth of meat. So either way, I'm already wore out from hiking in. I'm already covered in sweat. My back's already hurting. And now I've got to haul out meat and stuff too. And, I could take it back to the truck and leave it and then go back and get the deer. But either way, I don't think a climbing stand's for me. Now, if you have a piece of private land where the guy didn't want you putting up a stand, I would say this will be perfect for somebody that doesn't have to go in more than a quarter to a half mile to their hunting places. And there's a lot of folks that do that. But for somebody like myself who likes to get in, and I like to move around a lot too. If I'm in a place for a couple hours and there's nothing, 3 hours, there's nothing going on, I might want to move off somewhere away in the distance and see what's happening. But for somebody like myself who likes to move around a lot and who likes to go in mile, mile and a half, 2, 3 miles sometimes, I don't necessarily know that a climbing stand is for me. I'll probably be doing most of my hunting this upcoming season from the ground with a crossbow. I'm not defending the use of a crossbow. I love a crossbow and I think it's perfectly acceptable form of archery. And I've got a blog post on that if you want to go check it out. www.eco-outdoors.com. Anyhow, But I'm not going to 100% give up on hunting from an elevated position just yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sell this and get as much money out of it as I can. And I'm going to try hunting from a tree saddle and a rope. Because essentially, if you don't know what a tree saddle is, which I think everybody pretty much does at this point, it's basically a safety harness that goes around your waist, and you have a lineman's belt for climbing a tree, and once you get up in the tree, you're essentially suspended backwards with the tree in front of you from a safety harness in the tree while you're hunting. The good thing about that is they're extremely lightweight, maybe 10 pounds for all your gear together, and it's on. What hurts me is my back and my shoulders, and my neck. So if I got a harness system around my waist, then I can put it on when I'm at the truck. I can hike in and be hunting from an elevated position and be perfectly comfortable. So, great stand. Summit makes a great product. I never at once felt unsafe in their product. There was a couple of times I got in a sketchy tree that I shouldn't have been in, that I should have known better to pick, that I felt like it was a little iffy. You definitely want to, if you're using a climbing stand like this, you definitely want to avoid hardwoods like the shagbark hickory or red oaks. White oaks seem to be okay. Sometimes maple is okay. I did discover that you want to watch out for flaking. Any kind of bark that flakes off real easy, you definitely want to watch out for that. And any kind of bark that's too hard, essentially for you, if you can't dig your fingernail in it somewhat or make some kind of impression in it, I would try to veer away from it, because you're not going to get, more than likely nothing's going to happen, but you're not going to get the bite you're going to have to feel comfortable in it. There's a couple of times where I found some trees that were really soft, where it bit into it so much that I actually struggled to climb the tree. But given my druthers, I would much rather be in a tree that I had to fight to get the teeth out of the tree and know I'm not going to go anywhere, than a tree where you just barely touch it and everything pops up. And I was in a couple of those over last season. So there you have it. That's my thoughts. I thought I'd put this out there for anybody that was debating on getting a climbing stand for the first time, and wanted to know, is a climbing stand for me? I would recommend one if your trek in and your trek out is less than a half mile, a quarter to a half mile. I would highly recommend it. Or if you're in better physical shape than myself, which is a very good chance that you are, then I would recommend one. But for me, I don't think they're for me, just because I go in too far, and like I said, all the short trek places I've got to hunt already have a fixed ladder stand, so I don't need to carry a climbing stand. But thanks for watching. Like I said, check out my website, www.eko-outdoors.com. And also, if you haven't yet, do yourself a favor, go check out the Go Wild app. It's a social media platform for outdoor lovers of all kinds: hikers, bikers, four-wheelers, hunters, anglers, nature photographers, you name it, it's for you. And there's none of the BS that you get on these other social media platforms for people bashing you for doing the thing that you love. So go check it out. Thanks for watching.